There's something immensely satisfying about heading into a virtual playground and wrecking everything. Maybe it's because we're impressed with the technology that allows us to do that. Maybe it's because of that inner child in all of us, and perhaps a bit of both. There are quite a few games out there, in fact, that make destruction central to their core experience, and here we're going to talk about a few of them. Before we begin, please consider subscribing and enable all notifications by clicking the bell icon. With that out of the way, let's get started. Just Cause 4. Avalanche Studios' Just Cause games have always been about letting players loose in vast open sandboxes, where mayhem and chaos are the name of the game. And Just Cause 4 takes that to incredible heights. The explosive action and destruction physics of the series are present and accounted for here, of course, and made even more robust thanks to new tools at the player's disposal. Add to that large-scale, over-the-top weather effects like massive tornadoes, and you have a world that is begging to be destroyed. Red Faction Guerrilla. Red Faction Guerrilla may not have aged very well as an overall experience, but the one aspect of the game that will never fail to impress is its destruction physics. This is a game that lets you tear down pretty much anything you can lay your eyes on, and taking weapons big and small to dismantle anything and everything you see never gets old. The fact that you can spend hours in the game simply running around and dismantling everything should tell you something about how fun that can be. Worms WMD. Even now, several years from its launch, Worms WMD is an extremely impressive game on a technical level, which of course encapsulates the game's destruction mechanics as well. Given the scale of the game, the destruction isn't ever as explosive as it is in games like, say, Battlefield or Red Faction. Even so, Worms WMD gives you all the tools you need to shred everything in sight, and the world reacts to you in incredible ways when you do that. Minecraft. An odd choice, right? This is a game about building after all, not destroying, but nothing's stopping you from focusing entirely on the latter. Buildings, trees, caves, mountains, layers upon layers of soil, they're all literally just building blocks in Minecraft, and the game is more than happy to let you completely destroy all of it in the name of collecting resources. Spend a few good hours doing nothing but mining, and you can absolutely wreck any environment the game might throw at you. Breach. Breach isn't a very good game. In fact, it's really rather forgettable at best, but it does have one thing going for it: the destruction physics. Developer Atomic Games went out of their way to provide players with the most robust and precise destructive tools imaginable, in a game that was built for the express purpose of being blown to bits. From destroying massive structures with heavy firepower, to puncturing holes in walls with your bullets, and everything in between, Breach puts almost no restrictions on what you can destroy, and how you can destroy it. The Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction. I mean, it's all in the name, really. The game's very purpose is to let you live out the power fantasy of being the big green Incredible Hulk and letting loose in its world with no inhibitions. The Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction bestows some truly destructive powers on you, true to its name, and lets you use them in all the ways you'd want to playing as the Hulk. It might not have been the high-profile hit superhero game like Arkham or Spider-Man, but as those who have played it will tell you, it was pretty darn good in its own right. Mercenaries 2 World in Flames. Mercenaries 2 World in Flames is another example of a game that wasn't without its faults, but if we were to talk about the experience's highlights, its destruction physics would surely get top billing. Massive skyscrapers, smaller clusters of houses, dense forests, billboards on roads. If you could see it, you could unleash a barrage of bullets and explosives at it, and it would react in the most impressive ways possible as it crumbled before your eyes and turned into dust. Rainbow Six Siege. Well, no, you can't destroy everything in Rainbow Six Siege, and unlike many other games in this feature, the destruction certainly isn't the point of the game. But given how precise and satisfying the destruction physics in the game can be, we felt it deserved to be mentioned here. What's interesting about destruction in Rainbow Six Siege is that more often than not, it turns out to be a crucial part of strategies in matches, with breaching and destructive cover and what have you all influencing everything from movement to positioning. Is it a completely destructive playground? Well, no, but the destruction is still crucial and implemented in the game very well. Crackdown 3. The cloud technology that is powering the multiplayer mode in Crackdown 3 is surely impressive, and may someday be the future of gaming. Despite being ways off from the developer's original demonstration, the destruction in Crackdown 3 is absolutely impressive, and it'll be a waste if Microsoft doesn't decide to build on this and use it in a potential Crackdown 4. Whether that will happen or not is something that remains to be seen, but the layered destruction tech is certainly up there, right with the best. World in Conflict. A true RTS gem, and one that always immediately comes to mind when one talks about destruction in video games. World in Conflict lives up to its name and makes chaotic, bombastic, high-octane battles a central part of the experience. Planes, tanks, and any number of weapons are always at your disposal, and using them to completely destroy everything that your enemies have built is never not satisfying. Hell, it's satisfying to watch even when it happens to you. FORTNITE. Like Minecraft, destruction really isn't the point in FORTNITE, but again, that doesn't mean you can't do it. The destruction tools here aren't nearly as robust and comprehensive, and to be honest, the destruction itself doesn't make a lot of sense from a physics perspective. But slowly chipping away bit by bit at massive towers and structures erected by the other players is still quite a lot of fun. If you can stay alive long enough to do that, that is. Fracture. Fracture isn't on this list because it's a great game. It's really rather mediocre, but because it goes about its destruction physics in a pretty unique way. The point here is that everything beneath your feet is destructible. Using weapons and explosives to reshape the ground beneath your feet however you see fit is an inherently interesting idea, and Fracture implemented it in really interesting ways. It helps, of course, that the game knew well enough that that was its biggest strength, and gave you more than a few weapons to alter the terrain around you. Battlefield Bad Company 2. Battlefield games love their destruction mechanics, to the extent that they're often a crucial part of the multiplayer experience, and Battlefield Bad Company 2 has probably the most impressive destruction physics in the series so far, so of course it was going to be in this list. Whether it's something as small in scope as destroying a wall that an enemy is taking cover behind, or watching a huge structure collapse under the weight of a full-on assault from several directions, the destruction physics in the game never fail to impress. Control. Featuring excellent gameplay, story, and visuals, Control is often overlooked for its physics technology, but we are not going to make that mistake here. This game has tons and tons of destruction to keep you happy for a long time. From breaking several in-game objects and crushing it using your powers, there is just so much to do in the game. When your powers were amped up, you could pretty much destroy almost everything in a room. And with that, we reached the end of the video. Have anything to say? Let us know in the comments below. Also, we upload new videos every single day on GamingBolt, so please consider subscribing, as it really helps us out. Thanks for watching.